Oh, it's true. It's true. I'm late to the party. I'm sorry, guys. Real life got in the way. Kids, school, stuff, work. I wanted to be on live as soon as this happened, but we're here. I got people calling me nonstop. This is intensity. We got our guy. We got our main guy. We got the guy that we were going for. And the Bears are back, baby. The Bears are back. We got our center. So our offensive line is basically rounded out now. Now we just need some depth. And I'll go through Drew Dalman with you guys. A lot of positive about Drew Dalman. Very athletic. He's an athletic freak. He is he's going to fix the run game for us. You're going to see a lot, whoever the running back is. If it's Ashton Genty, if it's Caleb Johnson, if it's Travion Henderson, if it's whoever the running back is, DeAndre Swift, whoever's running off that right side with Darnell Wright and Drew Dalman, we're going to go for 17 yards a pop. I'm not exaggerating. You're going to see 17-yard runs off that right side. They're going to have to stack the box. It's going to be absolutely insane to watch our run game. Now, remember 2 years ago, our run game was one of the top in the league. Now, this last year, it decimated completely. We got new line coaches in. We've revamped the entire offensive line. The only ones returning are our bookends, and they did decent last year. I mean, Darnell Wright did absolutely awesome. 5th highest overall graded right tackle, 3rd highest run game right tackle, and Braxton Jones was, top 14 left tackle, so he was the 14th ranked left tackle. So a little late to the party. This happened an hour and a half ago, but we do have Drew Dalman. Let me jump into it a little bit. First of all, Petey, Theodore Serbin, Richard Craddock, TM, Relentless Mikey, Reese Reed, Maverick or Merv, Theodore Serbin, I think I already said you, sorry, James Horner, Jeff Potter, RSA. Guys, I'm late to the party. If you guys can hear Bluey in the background, I got my 3-year-old propped up on Bluey for a minute. We'll see how long this lasts. Bears Junkie 55 Hall of Fame. Appreciate you guys tuning in. A little bit of bear down going down. Love it. Bear down, Jason Hine. Bear down. So let's jump into this real quick. It's true. The big news of the day, we've taken Drew Dalman. What's going to happen next? I don't know. We do have a little bit of money left. We will go through some of the ones we thought were going to happen. We thought the other big news was Khalil Mack. We thought he was going to sign with the Bears from all the rumors that were going on. They were rumors. The 2 big rumors were Drew Dalman and Khalil Mack. Well, we got Drew Dalman. Khalil Mack re-signed with the Chargers for 1 year, $18 million. I said that was the fine value for me. Apparently, he wanted to stay with the Chargers, though. So we do have a little bit of money left. Let's jump here and show you guys the news, though. So right in the middle there from Adam Schefter, ESPN sources, former Falcons center Drew Dalman reached agreement today on a 3-year, $42 million deal that includes $28 million guaranteed with the Chicago Bears. The deal makes Dalman the 2nd highest paid center. So clearly this was Ryan Pohl's priority. And if you look at the bottom there, you look at his run blocking grades every year. 2024 is a little bit of an anomaly. Injured with his ankle injury, out most of the year. Everything indicates that ankle is completely better. So these concerns people have with injuries, I get them. I totally get them. But Drew Dalman doesn't sound like it's a lingering injury, like it's going to be an issue for him. So over his career, he's only allowed 4 sacks, has allowed a little bit more pressure than you would like. And I've broken this down in my other video. I'm going to do all 22 so people understand, because that's the big thing. I brought it up on here, and a lot of people, they kind of regurgitate it without watching the tape on it, and that's fine because not everybody has 15 hours a day to watch all 22 tape. But Drew Dalman, I believe his pass pro is fixable. So I brought him up earlier with where my concerns are with Drew Dalman. I didn't want to pay him 18. I didn't want to pay him Creed Humphrey money when he's not Creed Humphrey center. But he is extremely athletic. He's an athletic freak. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit small, but there's his RAS score. You can see his RAS score from 2021 when he's drafted 9.9. Everything raised off the chart. If he'd had more weight on him, he would be close to a 999 RAS score, close to a 10 RAS score. So Drew Dalman, the thing with him is his pass pro, because he's a little bit lighter, because he's Coleman Shelton sized, he's Coleman Shelton sized with more mean streak than Coleman Shelton and more muscle than Coleman Shelton. He's a pretty muscular dude. He's pretty beefy. When he gets in pass pro, sometimes he bends at you can't see it there, but he bends at the hip instead of the knees. I've watched extensive all 22 on him, and that's the problem with Drew Dalman. Now, if these offensive line coaches can get with him, fix that, and make it so he's not lunging as much, get him in the weight room, fix his base. I know we always get concerned over that because that's the thing we hear every year. Their base, Braxton Jones and his base. It's not like he's not built properly, like his body frame isn't proper. Like he's built, he's an athlete. He's a freaking athlete. He's built. It's just a matter of technique. And I think only 4 years in the league, only 3 years starting, 2.5 years starting because he was injured last year. I think the Bears see something in him where they say, well, this is an easy fix. Like, we just got to teach him, and we've got him between Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson now. We've got him between two all-pro guards, two Pro Bowl guards. We've got him between these two guys. This is not going to be an issue for us to fix. We can fix it, take care of it, and we've got him. I said all along, above $15 million was kind of the spot where you're paying too much for the juice. You're more expensive than you should be. 14 was kind of the max where I said, well, this is where we ended up signing Matt was 14 million, which makes him the second highest center. Signing him for 3 years, I believe, does make him a solution. They want to pair him up with Caleb's base contract. So Caleb's first 4 years last year, and then 3 more is his rookie contract. So I believe that's what they're doing this for, is pairing him up with Caleb, getting good offensive line coaches in there, and having them being congruent for at least the next 3 years. Obviously, you can sign extensions after that if things are going well. Drew Dalman's only 26 years old, so you're not it's a good contract for him and the Bears. Contracts will go up over the next couple of years. He's got 3 years to prove himself. He's already proven himself in the run game, and we know Ben Johnson loves his athletic freak linemen, players, period. He loves the RAS scores, and he loves the athletic guys. He loves the run game. So Drew Dalman will be out there leading the way. Darnell Wright, I see a lot of right side pounding the rock nonstop. You're going to open up the game. I mean, this is going to be really fun to see what Ben Johnson comes up with on this offense. So let me make this bigger. We'll get into – I'll get to the chat in a minute, guys, but let me get into some of the questions you guys have. So here's the needs chart. This is something I do on my channel. For those who are new to the channel, those who are just tuning in now, this is the actual salary cap. You're not going to get the actual salary cap on SpoTrack. You're not going to get it on Over the Cap because they're counting practice squad players. They're counting things they shouldn't be counting. Look at the top there. I can't use my pointer because we're on StreamYard. But if you look at the 38 right there on the right, top 51, $237 million. These are contracts that are allocated to players that actually will be on the roster. Okay, there's 38. We need 15 more. And you can see the spots on the screen here that are missing from that. So we still need a wide receiver 3. We need a running back 1/2, depending on how you consider DeAndre Swift. Ben Johnson likes him, but I have no doubt they want to upgrade the position and have at least a tandem, a pair of the two together. We need a nose tackle. We need a defensive end for starters. And linebacker, this is really linebacker 3, so you can kind of put that at the same spot as backup because we run nickel probably 70 to 80% of the time, and Dennis Allen does the same type of thing. So really that linebacker is your linebacker 3. It's Jack Sanborn's replacement. He's the one who will rotate in when you change from base to nickel. So he won't be in on every play. So that one's maybe not as big a priority. Long snapper, that's easy fix. So that's not a high priority. And then tight end 2, which should be a big priority, which should be something that they need to really fix. So when you look at all that and you look at what we need some depth still. You look right below the starters at the backup. We still need an offensive tackle, swing tackle, or a right tackle, whatever you want to call it. Maybe we sign Dan Skipper. Maybe we go Holland Pierce in the draft. Maybe we go all the way up into the first round and get someone to replace Braxton Jones. Who knows? And then Braxton Jones can be the swing tackle. There's lots of options here. But the biggest priority now moves to nose tackle, defensive end, and then running back and tight end, and then shoring up depth on the offensive line. So this really cleans things up. And if you look over on the right again, that little white section, this is from my spreadsheets that I do, and I can pull those up in a minute. When you look at that, salary cap is 279. We had $5 million in rollover. So we have 284, 284, 460 for our salary cap. You got a little over $4 million in dead cap from expired contracts from last year, contracts we had to cut at the beginning of this year to get things rolling. Your rookie year one pool, so the 7 draft picks above there, 110, 239, 241, 372, 5149, all those combined will equal $11,770,000. Then you're going to have to account for the practice squad, which is $4 million. I know this is the nerdy stuff, guys. Bear with me just a second while I get through this. The nerdy analytical stuff. Our actual salary cap sits right now at $27,249,978, assuming this is a clean 3-year, $14 million per year contract. The Bears could have front-loaded it. The Bears could have back-loaded it. They could have made the first year worth $12 million, the second year worth $14 million, the third year worth $16 million. They could have made the first year worth $16 million, the second year worth $14 million, the third year worth $12 million. We don't know those things yet. So this is based off the assumptions that it's a 3-year, $14 million per year contract. And that being assumed, there's $27 million left of spendable cap. Of that, Ryan Poles always rolls into the season with a buffer cap. He always rolls in with, $5 to $10 million, usually around $8 to $10 million in buffer cap. I got a little 3-year-old. 1 second. Brooklyn, you okay? You need to go potty? Go ahead. She's 3, potty training. I'm going to have to take a brief time out for a second to go help her finish. But she's rocking it. She's rocking it. She's actually killing it. So doing a great job. All right. So priority next, I'm going to have to assume it's the defensive line. I'm going to have to assume it's a defensive end at that. Trey Hendrickson is very much on the table because he's only going to cost $16 million this year. So of that $27 million, if you trade for him, $16 million, then maybe use 10 to trade down, pick up some depth, pick up the nose tackle, pick up Kenny Grant, pick up Walter Nolan. Maybe if Mason Graham falls to us at 10, then we pick him up immediately, run to the podium, don't trade down. But I can see us trading down in this scenario because we only have $27 million in cap, and some of these pieces will be picked up with lower level contracts on the depth chart. Wide receiver 5, maybe some safety depth, maybe Ricky Stromberg becomes the backup center now. Maybe he progresses enough that we can use him on a minimal contract to do that. So let's scroll through here real quick just so I can show you guys. All right. 1 second while I load up the next one. So there's your offensive line. This looks really good. 1 second, guys. I pause. I'll be right back. Boom. Check out the offensive line while I'm 1 second. We back. We on track. Stay right there because I don't want your face being on the camera. Okay. Do you want to say bear down? Come right here. Say bear down.
Bear down.
Say the Bears.
The Bears.
Say I love the Bears.
I love the Bears.
High five. You want to go watch Bluey?
Yeah.
Good job. She's being good to let Dad be live for a minute. Sorry. Not sorry, though. She's my priority. Okay. Here's the offensive line. You see, we normally have 16 rolling into the 90-man camp. 16 rolling in right now. We now sit at 13. So our offensive line actually has depth for camp. And I can see us really just focusing on those backups as a priority. And I would like to see all 3 of those be through the draft. I'd love to see every one of these 3, left guard backup, center backup, right tackle backup, or swing tackle. I'd love to see every one of them in the draft. Maybe not first round, maybe not second round, but even if we use our 3rd rounder on, say Tate Ratledge as a backup left guard, And our 5th rounder as Holland Pierce at right tackle. I don't think he's going to last that far anymore after the combine, after his measurements and his freak athleticism. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. So a couple comments. I haven't gotten to the chat like I should. I really apologize, guys. You guys are awesome. Skeletor, no reason to keep Bates now. Cut him and save $4 million towards the cap. Well, you're not going to sign a backup guard for $4 million. Ryan Bates actually had $500,000 of his $4 million become guaranteed, I guess, as a bonus, a roster bonus, as the league year changes. So he's got that. He's got that $500,000, and that shows to me that Ryan Poles is committed to keeping Ryan Bates as a backup and seeing if he can keep him developing. He did trade for him, and that happens a lot with GMs when they trade for a guy. They want to keep their guy and see it happens. I don't see us taking Coleman Shelton as a backup, as a depth piece. I don't. He's going to be too expensive. The market for him for a what's the right term? Not low level center. He was number 10th ranked center last year, but he's got issues with Drew Dalman in the pass pro, worse than Drew Dalman, but not as good a run blocker either. So he's right in the middle there. I mean, he's going to be a tweener, so he should be getting around $6-7 million a year, and I wouldn't want to pay that for a backup. I'd rather draft one. Andrew Vin 23 with the super chat. All right, let's go. Finally catching your stream live. Hype for the new line. Keep killing it with the content. Love the videos. Appreciate that, Andrew. I really do a lot. Let's make this. Can we make this go different? We'll leave that on there for a minute. All right, we'll just focus on the top here. So, Karan Amagaji, not a dead issue, guys. He's still developmental. We knew that last year. In fact, when the draft happened, we took him in the 3rd round. We said he should not play in 2024. So this is not a thing where you give up on Karan Amagaji, but if you can upgrade the position, I can see us doing that. I see more now, though, of the Bears. You got to remove this. Apologize, Andrew, so I can get to the next section. Right here, the defensive line. This now becomes priority number 1. And I wish I knew what they were thinking with Chris Williams. I did not include Chris Williams' salary in my salary cap because he is fully none of it's guaranteed. $0 of that salary cap is guaranteed. Not a single penny. It's a restricted free agent tender. So if the Bears decide not to keep Chris Williams, they can cut him. No issues. 1 second. Hey, Brooklyn. Can I have a huggy? You want to go watch the movie? Take those in the other room, okay? Okay, you can play in here with me. You're doing a great job. I'm very proud of you. Thank you, honey. All right, priority number 1 to me becomes nose tackle and defensive end. Nose tackle market, what's his name? Williams, out of Milton Williams. Where did the deal get done? Let's pull up Twitter here. We can see if there's any updates while we've been doing this. The Bears, baby. Bear down. Bear down. You like it when I say bear down, huh? Guys, I got my 3-year-old. I apologize if that's distracting for some, but she is my priority, and we got the Bears going on, though. So, all right, let's see. Milton Williams. Okay, just for a little bit. Appreciate you, baby. Where did Milton Williams? The Cardinals? Was it the Arizona Cardinals? Oh, Carolina. That's where it was. So Carolina Panthers signed Milton Williams. Some of you in the chat probably knew that. But Milton Williams was kind of the big target there in free agency, and now he is going to the Carolina Panthers. So that's big news for that. Let's see here. Let's bring this back on board because I do want to show appreciation to the super chat. So again, Andrew Vin 23. I'm going to try to catch some of the chat here, and I'm just going to leave that up because this now becomes our main priority. We've fixed the offensive line. We have got a very shored up offensive line that, to me, I think someone asked earlier. I apologize I didn't hit it because I was trying to get through a couple thoughts. Where does this offensive line rank? Who knows? Who knows? Because you have to get the congruency. You're going to see the first couple games, free agency or preseason and the season. They have to gel together. But these guys are vets. You've got every single one of these guys has a minimum. Well, Darnell Wright's the lowest of 2 years in the league, but everybody else I mean, the 4 years in the league with these guys. So these are vets that shouldn't struggle to gel together. And you've got Braxton Jones, who 14th ranked left tackle last year, Joe Tooney, Drew Dalman, Jonah Jackson, who last year obviously had his issues, but the year before graded very well, 2021 Pro Bowler. And then you got Darnell Wright, who's one of the highest ascending players in the league. I would say right off the bat, top 10 line. I'm not trying to homer. I really do think that's a top 10 offensive line. And I think those around the league, you'll see them rank us accordingly. Drew Dalman was the top rated center. He's one of the best run blocking centers in the league. And his issues with the pass pro are fixable, especially when you pair up Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson around him. I don't see that being an issue. I think they can fix that very easily. And I think Caleb's going to have time to freaking throw now. He's going to be able to figure some stuff out there. So let's go in the chat. Jason Emmers, Jeff Potter, Maddie 23, football student, filtration. Sorry, guys. Luke Engelhard, free to play DDO, American Mafia Media, Dave S, Bog Billings, James Horner. Yep, $20 million a year for Williams is what it was. So it's even more valuable. So this is what I was saying in last night's video, guys, for you guys who caught that, the last video I put out. I can try to pull it up here in a minute, the charts for that, but the price, it's not going to be up to date anymore, but the price of contracts is going up on your offensive line, your defensive line, your quarterbacks, some of these specialty positions. People see the value in that. That's why it's more important than ever to hit nose tackle early in this draft. We haven't had a beast nose tackle in years. Andrew Billings is a fine rotational, but you even have to realize, even if you love Andrew Billings, he's on the last year of his contract. He's getting older, and he hasn't stopped the run the way you would like a nose tackle to be a totally dominant guy up in the middle. I mean, that guy that really dominates the defensive line. I think the Bears want that. There's rumors of Mason Graham now being smaller. In fact, we'll go here. This has been the highlight on mine for a little bit. What does it say? Remove that, add this to the stage. Okay, so here is Twitter. We'll go to my Twitter profile. This is the one where I've had this highlighted for a while. So we can just pull this up. Walter Nolan measurables, height 6'3", weight 296, arm 32.5, hands 9.5. Mason Graham came in much lighter than people expected, almost the exact same size. And if you look at this, there's Walter Nolan, there's Mason Graham, there's Walter Nolan's career, and you look, I mean, very, very solid. 6 sacks, 7 sacks, 30 total pressures, 16 total pressures the last couple years on 334 pass rush opportunities, 213 pass rush opportunities. Then you go to Mason Graham, and it's almost identical. These two are almost identical, and the only thing that separated them was their size before. So when you look at that, maybe Mason Graham falls a little bit. Maybe Walter Nolan comes up a little bit. I don't know, but either way, there's options there, and the Bears can pick up, Mason Graham, Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant, who I just did a highlight video on, and I'm very high on right now. So there's options for the Bears to fill this. Will that happen? I don't know. They could go offensive line still. They could go defensive end in the first round. There's a lot of different options they can do, but I really do believe they're going to shore up the trenches here when we still have needs, and we only have, let's see here, go back. Where did I put it? $27 million in salary cap left. Is that what it was? Let's go here. Right there. $27,249,978 for 15 players. Although I'm including the 7 draft picks in this, so that's 45 players. So really 8 players left to spend $27 million on. That's very, very doable. So the Bears are in really good shape. Let's see what you guys got going on here. Yeah, this is Oxybrodon. You nailed this one. Isn't this crazy? 25 years for the Bears to take the trenches seriously, and now we have. Now we have to remember, guys, we got to remember with that, last year we felt pretty good heading into the season, right? I mean, about the offensive line. We did. We felt pretty good about it. Now, we didn't know what was going to happen with Ryan Bates. We didn't know what was going to happen with Nate Davis. We didn't know those things were going to happen, or injuries at all, period. The thing that we can't forget, last year, the thing that killed us was the backups, the depth. And Ben Johnson clearly said at the combine when they were interviewing him on Radio Row, several different interviews. This wasn't his press conference, but several different interviews. They asked him, how he feels about shoring up the offensive line, what his priority is, and he mainly focused. He made a lot of comments about center, how it all starts and stops with the center. Need an intelligent center. Those who don't remember, Drew Dalman went to Stanford, which obviously doesn't mean everything, but it is an academic school. It's an intelligence school. So Drew Dalman went to Stanford. He's well known for pointing things out for understanding the game. So that's a very positive thing. But Ben Johnson's other comment was not just having the front five, but having 8 that you can depend on and plug in at any moment and start and know that they are going to impact the game. So he wants to be 8 deep on this offensive line. Does he feel like Ryan Bates is that guy? I wouldn't feel comfortable yet. So in the draft, they really do have to hit on a couple picks here, and I would expect that to happen. Whether that happens, it could happen in the first round. You can take a first rounder and not have to start them day one. You can still do that. Do I expect that? No, I would expect more, hitting the nose tackle position, hitting a defensive end if we don't shore the defensive end spot up. But there are options in free agency here to be able to still help the defensive end spot. Depth. I love it, Jeff Potter. Depth. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up on some of your comments here. Bob Billings knows I love Walter Nolan, Kenny Grant. I mean, I really feel like that's the way we're going to go in the first round. I have not seen if any of these big edges have signed anywhere. So let's go to Twitter and just get caught up. If you guys have seen any breaking news that I have not seen, let me know. I like to go to the verified spots. We're going to go to Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter is a verified spot who usually has the breaking news going on. Lions are working to finalize a deal with Jets free agent cornerback DJ Reed. That's a big signing for the Jets. That's 18 minutes ago. Isaiah Rodgers reached agreement on a 2-year, $15 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings. Isaiah Rodgers used to be with the Colts. I don't see that as a huge signing, but a good depth piece. Oops, didn't mean to go into it. Dan Moore to play left tackle. Yeah, the big news I was seeing before I started the stream is possibly Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh. I don't know if anybody has any input on that one, or if anything's come to fruition yet on that, but that was kind of the rumor going on. Sounds like they were trying to work a deal out with Justin Fields, but he wanted more proof that they were going to make him the starter and not have competition for the job, because the Steelers didn't treat him right last year. He started off the year great, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4-2 record, and then they benched him as soon as Russell Wilson came back. A lot of potential for him. He's going to want a situation where he can go compete and have a shot. He doesn't want to he's only 26 or 27 years old. He doesn't want to use this critical time between 26 and 30 backing someone up. He wants a chance to prove himself one more time. So Carlton Davis has agreed to a 3-year, $20 million contract with the New England Patriots. Patriots are out spending their money. That's a big deal right there. Milton Williams with the Panthers was one. Dan Moore reached an agreement with Tennessee Titans. Okay. Paulson Adebo goes to the Giants. Oh, the Rams re-signed Jimmy Garoppolo as their backup. Oh, Javon Kinlaw reached an agreement with the Washington Redskins. Wow. Or Commanders, whatever you want to call them. Didn't see that one yet. So all this has happened as I was trying to get ready to go live. BJ Hill signed a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Bengals. So he re-signed with them. We love this, don't we? Chicago Bears remade their offensive line. Braxton Jones, Joe Tooney, Drew Dalman, Jonah Jackson, Darnell. That's freaking phenomenal. And those who haven't seen, Jonah Jackson's best game of his career came at right guard. He only played the one game at the end of last year, but it was the best game of his career that he's ever had. So no other huge breaking news right now from what I see. Let's see if Ian Rappaport has anything. Let me come back to the chat just a second, make sure I haven't missed anything. Fields and Knicks are the same age. Carl's tuning in. Let's record the show that I am Adam Mason's emergency source event. So as I was taking my daughter to school this morning, and as I was helping my other daughter, I couldn't go live right off the bat. I was telling Carl, I'm dying. I want to go live right now, Carl. I said, get off work and come with me. And Carl's like, I can't take work off. So Carl was just feeding me text after text after text. I was driving my daughter to school. It was pretty funny, actually. I had a good time with it. If the Steelers go after Rodgers, they are delusional. Yeah, I Steelers always seem to have everything else together, but the quarterback situation ever since Big Ben. What'd I miss? What'd I miss, Foster? Put it again. What'd I miss? Is there any news and extension for Tooney? I'm trying to get caught up right here now, too, guys. Nobody should be shocked if Tyler Warren goes early to anyone. I stopped gutting a kitchen to sit down and listen. Dude, Foster, you're the man. I always appreciate you tuning in. All right, let's go see what Ian Rappaport has to say. Let's make this bigger. Let's see if Ian Rappaport has anything new. DJ Reed, Patriots. Morgan Moses. Okay, that's one that I thought the Bears might be able to have his depth. Ooh, not at that price. Holy cow. Morgan Moses is getting paid in his old age. 3 years, $24 million to me, he was a backup right tackle, backup swing tackle, 34 years old, $8 million a year. That's not bad at all for Morgan Moses. Good job for him. Oh, Twitter went down apparently. Carl was telling me that, but I didn't see Twitter going down. I was busy with a couple things right in that minute, though. I have not seen what Dan Moore got paid. I think I saw somewhere that it was around $15 million a year, but that's just trying to go off memory. Carlton Davis, Derek Barnett. This Carl texted me. This one year, $5 million. So all the main defensive ends are still in play for the Bears. The only one that's come off is Khalil Mack, who re-signed a 1-year deal with the Dan Moore, 4 years, 82. So $20 million, $20.5 million a year. So I was wrong on that one. So $20.5 million for Dan Moore. Tackles are getting paid. The offensive line is starting to get paid, guys. I would not consider Dan Moore a top tackle in the league. He's up there. Not a top tackle. We can go look where he stands in just a minute. So no huge edges have come off the board yet. I would expect the Bears still to be working a deal for that right now. So see if anything in Bears world is going on. He froze. All right, nothing else there. Let's go through our roster. So there's the Khalil Mack deal, $18 million a year. Josh Sweat. This is just people speculating at this point. Oh, so just to recap, Drew Dalman signs a 3-year, $42 million contract, $28 million of it guaranteed. Basically, the first 2 years guaranteed of that contract. $14 million annual average value for that contract. I said that's kind of the peak of where I'd want us to sign him. I wouldn't feel good with us signing any higher than that. He does not deserve to get into Creed Humphrey money, but he is one of the top centers in the league, especially if we're going to establish the run game on this team. If we're going to establish the run, Drew Dalman's the perfect center to be able to bring into this team to establish the run with. So don't feel one bit bad about that at all. Now our focus turns to the defensive line, in my opinion. We could sign up backups on the offensive line in free agency. What's going on, baby? You want me to fix your toy? Come here. Maybe you got to come over here and give another bear down if you do. Okay, right here. Bear down. Bear down. Say the Bears. The Bears. Say the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl.
The Bears are going to win the Super Bowl.
Good job. Can you do a Super Bowl shuffle? Good dancing. Good job. Okay. Here's your toy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She's being raised to be a Bears fan. Her mom is a Cowboys fan, and we are winning that battle. I'll tell you that right now. We're winning that battle. Good thing the Cowboys are in shambles right now. I don't hate the Cowboys, but I got to win that. I got to win that battle, guys. I have to win that battle. She needs to be a Bears fan. All right, so nose tackle, defensive end. Let's get to some of the other positions so you see where we still have needs. So I've showed you the offensive line. So we really just need depth here. We need backup. Sorry if I'm dragging this out, guys. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together and multitask. On the defensive line, we need 2 starters, nose tackle, defensive end for the future. If you don't agree with me on Andrew Billings, either way, we're gonna draft a high leverage, high value nose tackle because Andrew Billings is on the last year of his contract. So that's just it is. Read the tea leaves all you want. That's happening. Even if you like Andrew Billings, maybe we re-sign him as a rotational guy next year. Defensive end needs to be a priority. We got no pressure last year. I have zero doubt Jervon Dexter starts this year, but he needs some help too. So we need a rotational guy to help him out, and then another guy to develop behind Montez Sweat. Maybe that is Daniel Hardy, though. Maybe the Bears see Daniel Hardy as someone they can continue to develop. So maybe we don't need another one there. But with this class, I see us really focusing on getting another edge to help out as well. Then, of course, the running back position where there's going to be the talking heads and people. I mean, where are we going to take? We're taking a running back. I mean, you hear that as early as the Eddie George interview when he came in for the Bears. Now he signed a 5-year Bowling Green, I believe. Oh, I'm trying to go off memory with all the news. There's so much freaking news. If I'm wrong on that, someone tell me in the comments. But I think Eddie George signed a 5-year deal with Bowling Green to go be their head coach now. But in the aftermath of that interview, he talked about, and he was hyping up Ohio State running backs because he went to Ohio State. But he talked about how the Bears are prioritizing a running back. Now, he wanted it to be Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins, and I'm right there with him. I would love either one of them. Either one of them have their perks and would be huge for the Bears. So that would be monstrous for the Bears to have that. I would be very elated for either one of them. Caleb Johnson, another good option. Omarion Hampton, I think he's going to go a little too early for the Bears to pick him up in the second. Cam Scatterbu is way underlooked. I'm working on my draft prospect profile videos. I'm trying to get caught back up on those. After I went to spring training, guys, it kind of leveled me. It took me out. Doing a doubleheader on Saturday, a game at noon and a game at 6 p.m., and then coming back and trying to do a video and then doing another game the next morning at noon and then traveling back 5 hours. That laid me out. So I was trying to get caught up this whole week. We pumped it out, though. We got several videos. But Cam Scatterbu is one I want to show you guys. He is a very versatile back. He's just not as quick breakaway speed, but my goodness, he's about as bull as you get. I mean, he would be an ox. He would be a good pickup for the Bears. I would have zero hesitation with Cam Scatterbu, and his hands are, they're sticky glue. He ain't dropping nothing. I think he had the highest NFL passer rating when targeted out of any running back this year. So I wouldn't be upset with Cam Scatterbu at all. There's many options here in the second round. So the Bears will target a running back. How high they go? Maybe they go Ashton Jeanty. I've been wrong on things before, guys. This is just my personal, how I read the tea leaves. You want different opinions. I hope you don't want to go to 5 different channels and have every one of them say Ashton Jeanty, number 10 overall. Even if you want Ashton Jeanty, I would hope you would want some differing opinions and differing ways that people read things. I don't have a problem with Ashton Jeanty. I do think there's a lot of flaws in his game. He's not God walking on water. And that's the thing that happens every year with this fan base is we take one player and we boost him up to be the end all be all. And there's going to be some natural letdown disappointment when that player isn't God walking on water. Okay. So Ashton Jeanty should be fine. I don't think he's going to be one of the top 3 rookie running backs. Carl was telling me Sweat has gone to the Eagles. So Josh Sweat is back to the Eagles according to Carl. So he did it 3 times for me here so that I could make sure I hit that. So Keith Hall says Jeanty is trade bait if he's there at 10. I think a team would absolutely trade up for him at 10. No what? Now you're making me have to question what's going on here, Carl. Now I'm going to have to go to Twitter. Now I'm going to have to see if Josh Sweat went there. You're making me check it out. No, Patriots are working to finalize an agreement with the former Eagle Josh Sweat. Going to be a massive deal for Sweat. Multi-year deal worth close to $20 million is what I'm seeing here on the Twitter. The Twitter's telling me that's what's going on. So let me pull that up. That was 20 minutes ago. So they've got, you can't see the whole headline there. Let me roll it up. So breaking, the Patriots are working to finalize an agreement with former Eagles edge Josh Sweat. Going to be a massive deal for Sweat, multi-year deal worth close to $20 million per year. So let's get back to this. Right. So here is our need still. He says he's doing the dishes. My bad. All right, Carl, you're in timeout. Just like if you were on here, I'd put you in the back room. All right. So running back, however it's going to happen, we're going to take a running back pretty high. We'll go back to the needs chart in a minute, and I'll get to that. Wide receiver, you got DJ Moore and Romo Dunze. You got Cole Kmet. Those are enough weapons alone, but we know Detroit was always looking for that next guy, too, in the speedster. No, Rondale Moore has not signed anywhere. You guys know that I'm all in on Rondale Moore. It's the whole injury thing. Excuse me. Are the Bears going to take on the injury? Are they gonna it's even a priority? I don't know. Maurice Alexander worked with we know we brought him in on a future reserve contract. He's pretty quick. He worked with Ben Johnson in Detroit. So he's already brought one of his guys in. What we do at wide receiver will be intriguing to me, but I don't think it's going to be a priority having DJ Moore and Romo Dunze. We do need to add a wide receiver 3. I would kind of guess that would be in the draft in the depths, maybe Pat Bryant, Ricky White, Deontay Thornton, who ran a 4.30 40 at 6'5", just has issues with his route running, very undisciplined, needs a lot of coaching coming up. So there's options. There's what's his name? Efton, the Eastern Washington kid that absolutely did phenomenal at the Shrine Bowl. Efton Chisholm, I think. Efton Chisholm's his name. There's several good wide receivers later on. I think we would take one of them in the 5th-ish round, would be my opinion, because you don't need a priority wide receiver, but bring one in that has high upside and potential, and that would be fun. All right, Carl, you're going to either come on here or tell us what's going on. What's up, baby?
I found a note in my room.
You did? Come here. Come show me.
In my room.
Let me see. Oh, is this from the scavenger hunt we did? Yeah, okay. We'll look at that later. Can you go watch Bluey for just one more minute?
But I have a secret.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so wide receiver, probably not the biggest priority. I would think tight end 2 would be a high priority. We know from the combine, we brought Tyler Warren in. We brought Mason Taylor in. We brought Ferguson from Oregon. I forgot his first name right now. So we brought some high prospect tight ends in to be interviewed at the combine. You get 60 interviews. We know about 30 of the interviews that happen. That's the same every year. You don't hear about every interview that happens. We'll hear about all the top 30 visits, but I do think tight end will be a priority. And there's the thing, when you start counting this out, we need nose tackle, defensive end, we need another offensive lineman, we need a running back, we need a tight end. All those should be day 1 and 2 picks. You got 3 picks right now, 4 picks if you day 1 and 2. Pick 10, pick 39, pick 41, pick 72. Can we trade down from 10 and extract at least one more pick? Then you can fill all those needs. Backup interior offensive lineman, nose tackle, defensive end, tight end, and running back. We can do all 5 of those if we trade down and get one more pick in day 1 or 2. Day 2. So that's where we are. Carl, you're gonna have to get it banned for a minute. I'd be happy with Elijah Moore, Chris Godwin, or I don't think we can afford Chris Godwin now, guys. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't see us going expensive wide receiver. What's up, baby?
See what happened.
Okay, I will come in 10 minutes. I'm good.
I stepped on that purple thing in my room and I stepped in it and I hurt.
Oh, come here. Let me see. Let me give a kissy. I'll better? On your heel? Okay. I'll better?
Thank you.
You're welcome. She's 3, guys. Be patient with me. She's 3. She needs the lovin's. She needs the love. So there's the wide receiver tight ends. I would think that's priority for sure at the tight end 2. Jack Beck in later rounds would be a great option for sure. 100% believe that. I don't like the Colston Loveland at all. Okay, let's move on to the next. And then we're going to have, like I said earlier, linebacker. Just because he's on the starters doesn't mean he's necessarily going to be a high priority, because he's really going to be the guy that rotates in like Jack Sanborn did. He's going to be the guy that rotates in on 20% of plays, because we use nickel more than we use base a ton. And so does Dennis Allen. So you're going to see a lot more of Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and Kyler Gordon. That's why I put the nickels on the screen, is because this is the box. So Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, that'll be the priority you see. So linebacker, I wouldn't think would be a huge priority. And you can find some great linebackers late in the draft. Cody Simon, Jackson Woodard, and they're all Chris Jones, or I'm sorry, Chris Paul Jr., if he falls into the 5th round, you can find him in the 5th round. So we'll see what happens, but there's going to be some good options there. Then as finally we get to the safeties, cornerbacks, I really expected us to tender Jalen Jones and keep him as the backup for Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson, Terrell Smith. Maybe they like Amir Speed more, so we did tender Amir Speed. I would expect us to still get Douglas Coleman as a unrestricted, exclusive right free agent. Man, my brain, ERFA, exclusive right for me. I would still expect us to tender Douglas Coleman. So I'm going to end this pretty soon here, guys. The chat's amazing, but I do want to go back over. Yeah, Nick Emanwari would be awesome. We'll go live again later. We'll update you with any news that happens, but I want to get the screen back up here where I had. So there's the breaking news. Not breaking anymore. It's a couple hours ago now, but the Falcons center, Drew Dalman, has signed with the Bears. I will do an all-22 video on him because I think a lot of people misunderstand or are misinformed on Drew Dalman. I told you I didn't like his pass blocking. Let's see. How do I take this off? You see his pass blocking grade, 53 last year, 53.1 the year before, 66.6 this very last year. So it's improved, but he's got problems bending at the hips instead of at his knees, but it did improve significant last year. And I think the Bears see that as something that this is something we can fix. He's been a 4-year pro now, been a starter for 2.5 years of those, injured last year. I think he's ready to be, he's a top center now. His overall grade was 4th overall because his run blocking is so freaking phenomenal. I mean, watching him out in space is watching a tutorial on how a center can get out. So I mentioned before, I played defensive end. I was very light to play center. I was 6'2", and at that time, 210, 220 pounds in high school. So for center, that was light, but our center couldn't move worth bupkis. So I was the long snapper, which is very common for defensive ends or tight ends that have good hands, and I have pretty monstrous hands. They're pretty huge. So I could snap the ball really well. Our coach one day just got really pissed off at our center because he couldn't move. And most defenses in high school were running a 4-4, so no nose tackle over the center. So the coach just told me, get in, Mason, get in there, snap the ball, and I want you to get out there and get out to, because you run the ball. We ran a lot of wildcat. We ran a lot of option, triple option. So just get out there and get the linebacker because, there's 4 in the box there. So I snapped it, did it, and blew the guy out of the water. And that's what it took, was a quick offensive lineman. And that's what Drew Dalman is. He's quick. He's not undersized. He's 300 pounds, but I can relate to him and his ability because when he's in space, when he gets out, he can absolutely truck some guys. Anybody who has the new emojis, any members of the channel, put those pancakes because you're going to see plenty of pancakes from Drew Dalman. He's going to be a freaking monster. So I agree with you, Foster. I like Sanborn. We just signed the contract with Tremaine Edmonds, though, so that's not happening. 9.9 RAS score for Drew Dalman. Very athletic. They like their athletes. So here is where we stand right now with our needs. Biggest priority needs right there below Joe Tooney. Nose tackle, defensive end, linebacker 3, tight end 2, running back, and then depth on the offensive line. So this team is coming together. $27 million in cap space. We will make another move. With $27 million, there will be a move made. I would expect it to be on the defensive line, in my opinion. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. I'll come back with you with any breaking news we have. I'll make sure I get news out to you guys. I know I was a little late on this one. I appreciate you guys tuning in. There we go, Franz Wolfneck, one of our newest members of the channel. Thank you for subscribing, for being a subscriber to the channel. Franz Wolfneck, there's the pancakes. There's the pancakes. I love it. So there's a lot going on. The Bears will have more signings. There will be more to be done. As soon as the contract details come out, too, I'll update you guys on that one, too. Andrew's got it going on. Look at that. Andrew's got it going on. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, the Bears and bear down. Let's make me bigger. Here I am. Oh, I'm leaving. Bye, guys. It will eventually end. Sometimes there's just a